100% gone back to the plants. And I'm gonna just go ahead and say that on some of these days, he wild shapes as much as possible and just not frolics because it is still like, you know, serious shit happening.
Yeah, I'd say you guys
but-
are still at kind of like a marching pace for most of the day.
Yeah, but I, like, when things seem safe or like when we're taking a break next to a river or something, I'm definitely like, I'm gonna be an elk for a few minutes.
Yeah. Like, I'd say that during this 2-week journey, you notice that, like, the dwarves kind of, like...
If you're interested.
Yeah, I'll read that in a second. Like, the dwarves kind of, like, their pace will increase and decline. Like, it seems that they're not exactly at, like, a breakneck pace either, so...
So we are definitely following the dwarves. I mean, we already been new, but...
No. I all but just said it, so I am now just saying it.
So for the sake... Oh, I'll let you finish doing that.
Alright, I'm ready when y'all are. No rush, of course.
I think I am too.
But if you are done, thank you for your patience, because weather things.
I only just finished, and I think Tina's still looking at stuff.
Yeah, I'm still... Can we... postpone my level up?
If you want to, yeah. If there's anybody that doesn't want to take a level up during this period, you're more than welcome to have that, yeah.
Because I'm... And I think it would be more interesting if it was narrative.
Okay.
So
we'll leave it at that, yeah. This was kind of... This was a freebie level up period, and if you don't want it, then don't take it, yeah.
I just think it would be kind of bullshit to take to multi-class right now while we're on the road.
Yeah, I would say for what you want to do, I would wait too. If you have
because
a
we've
lot
talked about it a little bit. Yeah.
And that kind of balances out the pack a little bit, so we've only got 2 that are above everybody else, and so yeah.
And then I'm back with them.
Yep.
They have that book, basically.
I'm glad I came back and read this.
Oh shit. Yeah.
That's
Isn't
that's
technology
fancy.
amazing?
Yeah. So, 2 things. 1, I can now turn into creatures with a challenge rating of 3.
Okay.
Ooh, that's pretty challenging.
Am I doing that wrong?
So challenging.
2. I'm sorry. 6th level, you can transform into a beast with a challenge rating as high as your druid level divided by 3. Okay, I lied. I can do challenge level 2 now.
Ooh.
Not 3. And all of my beast form attacks count as magical. Do I need to... Because that's just a blanket from now on for me.
Yeah.
Okay. So if anything has a, like, physical resistance,
Yeah, just
that
remember
doesn't
that and tell me.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'll count it as physical. And it's nothing against you, it's just more...
Yeah.
That's one thing I will not remember.
And I'm saying it to the group at large because there's a chance I won't either.
Yeah.
So challenge rating 2. I really need a better, like, animal list of things I can turn into. I need to work on that. Is there a card set somewhere I can buy?
Probably. It might not be like an actual Wizard of the Coast thing, but I'm sure you can get that somewhere.
Just wait till we go to the con.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Which is only a couple weeks away.
No.
Ha!
Sorry, guys.
Ha!
Everyone's screwed.
So you're good?
I believe so.
Miriam's good. Torn, you good?
Yeah.
I lied. There's one more thing I need to check. I'm so
Lauren's good. Eli still working on it?
He's done, but he's using the restroom.
Okay. Well, wait till he comes back, and then we will start to RP 2 weeks worth of travel time.
Aw, spit.
I need to just go to the regular logic page.
So yeah, wait. Am I crazy?
Okay, I can now stay in beast form for up to 3 hours.
Holy cow.
Damn. Circle the moon.
No, that's just basic wild. That's basic wild shape rules.
Okay.
Where did that even come from, man?
That meme.
It's just all of a sudden singing that song.
It's catchy.
It is catchy.
What song?
Shake it.
Oh,
Shake,
God.
shake, 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 shake it.
Okay.
All I can ever think is that one dude that's fucking dancing with a
Yeah.
laptop.
Pretty much.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's everything I need to know then. I can just.
Once
I don't
Mike is
get-
done his toy pooping, we looking at it.
As Estoy pooping.
I don't think I get more.
That's
Did you
been a
want to
second.
try my iPad now with this? See how that works out?
Oh, with
Them on
call?
Discord here.
We can try it. Or with Discord?
Whatever.
Oh, God, you stink.
Well, I'll
He's back. We'll try it different.
try it a different time.
Yeah.
Back on.
Yeah.
Alright.
That way you can have your own player's handbook.
I mean,
Yeah, I tried to charge my tablet so I could have my own player's handbook, and it didn't fucking charge. So, we'll say after the first night, it's a little bit tense, and you guys kind of go through the forest. And I will say, I'm going to open this up to you guys' interpretation. So if you have like a scene in mind or a moment that you want to do, I'm going to open the storytelling up to you guys. So you guys kind of just describe what's going on in the moments that you'd like to present to the group. And then if there is like something that you'd like to voice, then say it. Okay? So this is collective storytelling moment here. After the first day, you gotta begin to start to get into like a little bit of a hiking rhythm. Nothing really dangerous is going on. You hear the same kind of like animals and other things that are going on there, but you've been through this mountain range before. You take a certain amount of precaution, you know, make sure no open like cooking meat fires to attract wolves. You kind of take care and make sure that leave no trace, all that bullshit. Make sure you're open and you just continue to follow along this trail. So I'd say this is the second day of your travels. So we're going to turn to Sylvis. Sylvis, you said that you wanted to get closer to some of the people in the group, and after about 2 days of walking through the woods, how would you approach some of these people that you don't know so well? You've traveled with you've traveled with Miriam and Torin for a while now. In your opinion, when would be an opportune moment to kind of like come up to them and have a discussion?
I've been kind of like watching what they do on the trip, and like, Kree, you said something about the like taking in the whole outdoors, being out in the woods and stuff, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I want to try to like, if at some point I notice her like looking at plants more intently or anything like that, that's kind of, I'm hoping that'll be my opening to like start a conversation.
Yeah,
I guess.
she would be looking at plants because like alchemy is never something that she got to dabble in, because she was more of like a history and magic arts professor, so she never really learned much about alchemy or like, elements of the earth.
Well, then may I pull out my book of herbology and start like what I'm just gonna say, like, at one point when she's looking at a plant, I just kind of walk up with my book open and just go and just start explaining like, oh hey, this is what that is and what it does, and just kind of like I didn't know it off the top of my head, but I can help.
And thank you so much. Is there a section in this book that could help with poultices that could support our group? So like
I mean, it's kind of a
like build a deeper bond with everybody too.
It's not so much like a potions medicine book necessarily,
but it's a description of all the plants and their uses in the area. So it's something that with like an intellectual mind, you could maybe apply it to that.
Cool. Okay.
This one's edible.
I look at-
This one's not edible. This one's giving you the shit.
I use it more for
I don't-
that
What if that's
purpose,
what you
yeah.
need, then
Knowing which ones are
small
safe for
amounts of it.
consumption and
Right.
stuff like that,
Right. But otherwise, no.
but with your
Pick up
Don't-
your
don't.
professor history,
Maybe just a little bit.
a greater
If
appreciation.
you have some, constipation,
Blockages.
so,
Yeah.
and I do have, don't have a proficiency in it, but I do have a small interest in medicine.
They weren't
Also,
very
I do want to
forgiving, not a
replenish
whole
my
lot
good
of fiber.
berries during this as well.
Yeah, I'd say you get however many sprigs of
I don't remember how many I started with.
I'd say just write down whatever number you want, and then you can replenish your good berry.
I'm gonna say 10, so I had 4, so I'm just gonna add 6 to that, so I just have an even 10.
That's
Okay.
perfectly fine.
And I explain what I'm doing to Cree anytime I'm like foraging as well.
Okay, so I'd say you guys, over the course of these next few days, kind of build up a rapport and kind of go through some of the different, plants in the area. And as you guys kind of travel further up the mountain, you notice, different plant varieties that are coming into there. And you see some of like the higher elevation plants kind of come into play. But we're going to go back in time as you guys' relationship evolves, and we're back on the second day. So Norman, on the second day of this trek, your rats are a little bit hungry and a little bit tired. What are you trying to do to kind of provide for them?
Do I see any like wildlife or anything close by?
I'd say it's kind of just a standard trailhead. I mean, if you want to break away from the path and try and find something, that might lead to some issues getting back in the group, so you kind of feel a little bit weird about doing that, but it's an option.
We're still moving this whole time, yes?
Yeah.
At what point will we break relative to this?
I'd say every night you guys kind of like walk from about first light, so I'd say maybe 8 in the morning till probably about 6 o'clock at night. Just kind of keeping like a steady kind of walk, and then eventually you'd set up like a small little camp around on the trailhead here, maybe a little bit off to the side of the trail, and then in the next morning you just continue and keep going on this pathway.
So, I mean, I can gauge the rat's hunger enough to know that they'll be okay until the night, yes or no?
Yeah, it seems that like one hearty meal a day is kind of what they need.
Okay. So I told them as soon